For anybody who has not seen it, anybody that doesn't know, it looks like the subway entrances that go down. If you are standing just outside of the Feuder building, which was just beautifully renovated, you have the two stairwells, one for men, one for women.
Yeah, I know.
You go on the stair. I've only been on the men's side, and there is a barber shop down there. There is a shoe shine down there.
Yeah.
There is a the best way to describe it is if Saddam Hussein built a bathroom underground, that's what it is. It is marble and brass.
Don't bring that guy up.
No, I know. I just say, but it's his style of, like, you know, marble and brass. You know, so it's something that is a gem that none of the other surrounding areas have.
They have
and
talked about that previously.
it's something that needs to be addressed. I'm sure we can find funding for that somewhere privately and turn that around, because that is something that we need. We need public restrooms in the city.
Let me get this call in real quick, because we're sitting here, we're stirring up the people.
Yeah, this is good. There we go.
Hello, Heather. You're live with Joe. How you doing today?
Hi. Hi, Joe.
Okay.
Hi, Heather.
Hi. The reason why I'm calling, guys, the reason why I'm calling is because I, want to take you back to the conversation that you were having in regards to the road where you're going to make it so that people can walk and be more safe as pedestrians.
Okay.
Okay.
And I noticed that Joe said to you, are you going to make, are you talking about wheelchair or scooter accessibility?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, and the thing is I have a roommate who is handicapped accessible, and that is actually an issue with a lot of handicapped people.
Yeah, it is.
That the ramps when you are driving your scooter and or your wheelchair, you do literally get stuck, and I think that's an issue that does need to be addressed. And when Joe said something to you in regards to that, you kind of like blew him off.
Oh no, by all means, no. That is one of the things that I'm talking about. Is it's almost embarrassing that you can't get around unless you're on 2 feet. It is extremely difficult to navigate anything downtown. Part of that is the historic district limits ramps. I know on my property I tried to add a ramp and I was told that I couldn't. So this is something that we have to overcome. I know just a couple days ago I was walking down King Street and I saw a section that had 2 openings in the grate that, heaven forbid somebody comes down at night and it's just the front wheels are going to stick down and you're going to get stuck.
Yeah.
To me, I find it embarrassing that the city would be in that condition in the modern world that you cannot get around. So when I say pedestrian friendly, it has to deal with safety. It has to deal with the proximity that we are to the cars on the road. It has to deal with making it so that people can get out and around.
Let me just add something else to it if I can like that. I would like to see, now personally, I would like to see the businesses downtown have automatic doors opening for people with that handicap so they can go in and out.
That's an excellent
Yes.
thing.
Okay, I mean, I know it costs something, but it would be so accessible for them because they can hit a button and the doors and open, they can take the chairs in and come in out and so forth. I would like to see something like that. I think it would encourage a lot of other businesses to the people. Well, not only, some people walk out the store, maybe, hey, they can hit a button, they can open the door, they can get out too. But that was something I would think would be accessible. I also would like to see them straighten out that street so people can park more down there.
One thing at a time, right?
Yeah, but I would like to see that too because
you're talking about the curve at Beaver.
the curve, that is so dangerous. I don't know how many people remember this. I remember back when Elizabeth Marshall did that. And they always say I'm blaming Elizabeth Marshall that it was made up before her, but she signed for it anyway. We don't get into that. But ever since they zigzagged the street, if you remember when they first done it, there was a number of cars flipping over. People would come up the street too fast, they would hit that thing, and it was Jeeps turned over, cars turned over. I remember the one guy who slid up the street and he turned his car over twice up there. And every time he turned around, there was people flipping over all the time. And I mean, until they finally get used to doing that now. But I know the purpose was to stop big trucks from coming up through the town. Don't they have signs to put up no trucks?
Yeah. No trucks, no bikes.
I guess that don't work. I don't get. But anyway, it ran the businesses out. If they could straighten out the street, put the sidewalks back to where they were at, and let people park out, you would have a lot more businesses coming back to the city. a lot of businesses are not going because they don't see it as feasible that it's going to bring in the clientele.
And with that, maybe look at the angled parking like they did on Broad Street, because that's a lot of people that I talk to out in the county, they don't like the parallel park. They're not familiar with it. So that is very standoffish to people as well. But to address your question, I hope it wasn't misinterpreted, because one of the things that I realize is that the handicap access in this city is something that must be addressed. And not just like we have the chirping noises for the visually impaired, but to just picture what it's like to be in a wheelchair in the winter in York City.
Right.
It's incredible. I mean, the only word I can use is it's embarrassing.
I also would like to see more police officers walking downtown constantly as a deterrent.
Yes.
You know.
Well, when they gave them Segways, I said, "What about sneakers?" But you know,
they didn't give them a Segway. They can ride
Segways are cool. Segways are cool, but
they,
you know, sneakers are excellent.
But I would like to see that more, because Lancaster has it. You know, I went over to Lancaster. They got the police on horses. They got police walking the street.
We're not allowed to have horses here, Joe.
They had them before.
Yeah, we had them before. You're not allowed to have dogs or horses or any animals in the police department.
Well, I understand the dogs. Dogs go back to the race ride stuff. And the people.
But what about a Cocker Spaniel? Come on, who's going to take offense to a Cocker Spaniel?
They
Listen, she's laughing.
Anything got
yeah. Watch your shoelaces, Joe. Here comes a Cocker Spaniel. The only people who have to worry about
ankle biters.
Right, ankle biters. Right. The only people who have to worry about a Cocker Spaniel are cat lovers and people with drugs. So that would be it.
Well, I got a neighbor's cat. I'll check on a Cocker Spaniel and beat the mess out of him.
You guys are too much.
Well, thank you. I hope for your support.
No, no, there are things that I think that we can do for the city to improve it, and they don't seem to be that much to me that would cost that much. It just
it always seems simple, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I guess sometimes we live in such a fast-paced world, people get sidetracked from things that you can do. Because I mean, everybody right now is in a hurry to go do anything, and they just miss the obvious to me. And that's what we think we need to just slow it down a little bit and really look. I think we can get this town around.
Right.
You know.
Well, you do know that there was a time in York City that they did have the kind of parking that they now have going down Broad Street, you know, where they're like side rather than parallel.
Right.
There was a time when York downtown was parked like that. I've seen pictures of it.
I've seen pictures of that also, where they're parked in a circle around the square, and it's all those old cars. There's that picture floating around. I wish we could post that up here.
That goes back to the covered wagon days when the Indians were ready to attack, you get in a circle, don't you?
Yeah.
They got that
no, and that's when they used to have an officer standing in the square doing traffic control, and that's where the kiosk came in handy. Right. That's where. Hey, you over here, you over there. Nowadays, you put an officer in the street, everybody starts turning towards the officer and run him over. And that's one of the things that we have to talk about. You know, if we can for a moment, you know, the relationship between the police and the community in this city is
it's bad.
It's embarrassing. Never in my life have I seen something where, do you remember when the officer chased the child and had the flower pot thrown at him from the second floor? This is uncalled for. We need to respect the officers, and at the same time the officers need to respect the community. As a mayor, as a primary job of overseeing the police department, I intend to diffuse both sides and hold the police accountable for the way they treat the community, and hold the community accountable for the way they treat the police.
So would you have a police review board?
Yes. With community members and maybe some citizens riding along with police. I know, you start talking crazy stuff, people start going,
a lot of people don't want to hear that.
I know, but you know what? We got to turn the city around, and it's going to involve a lot of people. I can't do it by myself. Everybody has to get involved.
Why would you have a police review board?
To probably primarily with the goal of reducing the number of lawsuits against the police department.
How do you think it would do?
It's bleeding us. We have no money.
But if we had a police review board, what would they do? I mean, what would they make recommendations to satisfy a complaint? Is that what you're saying?
To work as a liaison between, it would give a way for the community to go to.
So you don't think the police internal affairs handles that right then?
Do you?
No, of course not. But
that's I was going to answer the obvious question.
The code of silence of blues.
Right. Got a little warm in here.
Well, go ahead.
It also gives a place for, you can make complaints against a said officer, but it also gives a resident a place to go to
Then-
if they do need to take issue.